These guys are selling armpit cream and they are running up an absolute bag. It is insane. So this is my favorite brand right now. So I figured, and I pull a lot of inspiration from this brand. So I figured, okay, a lot of people that are struggling in e-com, whether it's drop shipping, your brand, etc., need to be pulling inspiration from this brand. I do. This is my favorite brand that I watch and pull inspiration from. With that being said, I thought, okay, why don't I just make a case study about what is so good about their creative? How are they selling 8 figures, probably multiple 8 figures? I'm sure this brand is close to 9 figures plus in revenue amongst all channels and since they've originated, but they're selling deodorant, right? This is such a hard thing to do online. People buy deodorant in the stores. So if they can sell deodorant online and make it work, there is absolutely no reason that you can't make your drop shipping product or your brand, probably with way more wow factor and way more of a mechanism, work as well. So I attribute their success to 3 things. We're going to break everything down. It all starts with creative. I think so many people push like, oh, make better ads, right? And yes, that's the truth, but they don't explain how to do it and what makes a good ad. There's not a lot of free kind of value out there as far as creatives go. So I'm going to break down all their creatives. Guys, I've literally saved all their top creative, and we're going to literally just break it down for you today, both from video and the image side. Now, video starts with their team, and they understand retention. This is a big thing. So their video is spearheaded by someone that used to work for Mr. Beast, right? You can see head of creative, video producer, Feastables, and then producer for Mr. Beast. Now, why does this matter? Because Mr. Beast goes viral by understanding retention, how to retain attention. He goes viral when he has a very high average watch time on his YouTube videos. With that being said, it is his team's job to retain attention, both when they're writing scripts for his videos and editing them to kind of have these dopamine hits that are keeping people locked in. So this guy was under that system, and he basically allocates the same principles, you could say, to Carpe's creative as well. The quick cuts, the animations, the sounds, the other features, they'll have kind of the deodorant have like this glowing feel, right? These are dopamine hits that are keeping the viewers engaged. And I would imagine they actually probably Carpe has a very favorable CPM because Facebook and Meta and these ad platforms are realizing that their creative is actually enjoyed by people that are watching it, right? So Meta wants to feed ads on the ad platform that people actually like, right? And the algorithm keeps all of these things, it considers all of these things, the click-through rate, the average watch time, how well your ad is converting post-click. And it wants to serve ads that are just generally providing a good experience for people on the platform, right? And that's exactly what Carpe does. Their creative is fun to watch. It doesn't feel like, they don't feel like ads, right? It's literally entertainment. So this is our top of funnel, is video creative. Now, by top of funnel, I mean, these are typically kind of the awareness ads where people, they're getting in front of people for the first time, essentially. They're not hard selling them right off the bat. They're providing entertainment. They're providing value. They're starting to hit on like their mechanism and what makes their product great. And then they have these static ads for the bottom of funnel to get people across the line. So let's start with all of their top ad formats that I absolutely love. Public street interviews. What they do is they will go and they will do street interviews. This can be at a festival. You can see here, we have literally a festival.
He used to order this like Rashi stuff.
Every person that I find wearing Carpe gets $100.
So every person I find wearing Carpe gets $100. Now, what is so brilliant about this, guys? Retention. They get people on the edge of their seat and willing to wait because the people are going to want to see, like, does anyone actually have Carpe on? Not only is this a very good tactic to retain viewers, but it also provides social proof, because when they find someone literally in public in the middle of nowhere that's wearing the deodorant, they're like, oh shit, this is actually a legit big brand. So that's what they're doing here. So they're just asking people about Carpe, their favorite scent, why it's their favorite scent. Same thing here. They're at like a NC State tailgate, and they're just asking people like, what are your favorite scents? So this is giving the viewers insight on maybe the scent that they would like. It's also giving them insight on really like the smell in general and how the product will appear and what they'll feel when someone potentially orders it. So it's very, very brilliant. Here's another one.
Which one of these 3 smells the best? One, cucumber spa. Yeah.
Which one of the 3 smells the best? Now they're keeping a tally system. When I talked about the sounds, they're essentially like gamifying all of their videos to keep people locked in. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to watch to the end to see which scent wins, right? Absolutely brilliant. I can't even imagine the hold rate on these ads. So there's the first street interview and their first kind of content creation style or format. Next, they have UGC creator, like a relatable demo. So one thing about this brand, they don't use a lot of UGC because from my experience, UGC serves its place. I don't think it converts like it did 4 years ago. But they're still using kind of this demo style UGC that's absolutely brilliant. So let's see what they've got here.
This is so gross. The sticker is barely staying on because I'm already sweating so much. This is a sticker that shows where you're sweating. On this side,
this is a sticker that shows exactly where you're sweating. So they're showing generic deodorant. And then when you use Carpe, look at how little sweat you have. Absolutely brilliant. They're using a UGC creator, but keep in mind, there's a lot of quick cuts. There's a lot of different shots and B-rolls, and it's absolutely brilliant. Then they're hitting on the offer here at the end. Phenomenal creative. This creative ran it up like crazy. Point of view, you go to college in Florida and you haven't even left the pregame. They're hitting this customer avatar that is, college, younger people. The copy itself is very relatable for that offer, just using words like pregame and this and that, right? It's very, 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 very solid copy here. So they're showing this girl's like trying to dry off her armpits before she even went to the party. Super brilliant. And then they start to hit on the mechanism and why their product works. So that's how they're leveraging UGC creators. They're not pushing too much UGC though. Next, founder ads and inside of their operation. This is something that I think a lot of brands are going to need to do. As AI becomes more prominent, brands are really, we're losing trust with the consumer, especially because they're seeing all of these AI creatives. So being the founder-backed brand and putting your face behind the product and showing an inside of the operation is massive. I'm very bullish on founder-backed brands, especially as the years go on, because it's actually building trust with people, and trust is going to be harder and harder to build as AI becomes bigger and bigger. So first thing here.
Sweaty, clammy hands.
3 local college students believe they have a solution.
Sweaty, clammy hands. 3 college students believe they have a solution. They are starting with a Channel 11 basically plug when they were on the news. This is very, very important. This builds trust. They were on the news. They must have something solid. Next.
When you tried Carpe years ago, was it sticky, medicinal smelling, not effective enough? We've never.
Two founders right here. Both of the founders are here. They're in the ads. They're explaining about how they're constantly improving the product. Brilliant ad. Next, we have the keep it in the USA. I love this angle. When the tariffs came out, they also did a few ads on tariffs about how because they're a USA brand, it doesn't matter for them. Keep it in the USA, right? So they're showing inside the warehouse. They're showing how many packages they're sending out every single day. And this is absolutely brilliant because people want to follow the herd. They want to buy products that other people are buying, right? And that's what they're doing. This is part of their strategy in the street interviews when they're showing that people in the public are already wearing the product. And then they're showing the factory in the USA and all these orders that they're shipping out. It's amazing. Next.
People are saying this deodorant is cracked.
A lot of deodorants aren't accurate.
So this guy, he's in the warehouse. He's doing kind of product demonstration and talking about their product again in the warehouse. It's building trust. And then lastly, they do some creative in their office. So they will interview people in their office. You can see the office in the background. This is also building trust, showing that they are a legitimate brand. The founder-driven stuff is very, very brilliant on Carpe's side, and they're doing it phenomenally well. Another thing is this guy is in most of the ads. I would imagine the other co-founders maybe more in the kind of on the back end. But this guy, they also whitelist ads through his page. So they run ads through his page. They probably see cheaper CPMs that way, higher click-through rates. Whitelisting is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant way of running ads and typically yields better results. So that's what they're doing with not just the founder ads, but they're running them through the founder's page and all part of their strategy. Next. Interactive challenge. I love these ads. These are my favorite ads that Carpe runs. I haven't seen a singular brand that runs anything like it. So watch this.
The key is in this stick of deodorant.
The key is in this stick of deodorant. And he says for every second, it takes him to escape. with this thing tied to his wrist, they get an extra % off. Very interactive. This video is literally engineered to retain information. You want to see, oh my gosh, this creative is just so good. Because you want to see what happens, number one, but also at the end of the video, it's the perfect way to introduce the offer, where they go, oh, it took 56 seconds. Now you get 56% off. And it feels like a offer that was literally structured and engineered for the people specifically watching that one video. So you'll hear people say in the past, hey, create offers for specific avatars and people that feel like they're structured for that person watching the video. That's exactly what they're doing here. Now, I think they have a stagnant offer most of the time. But with these style creatives and this interactive style, every minute it takes me to catch a fish, you get 1% off. 33, 40, 55, 56. Wow, isn't that interesting that both the creatives have 56% off? This is because that is their winning offer, and they're probably they're trying to create different pieces of creative that can really promote that offer correctly. But they're telling a story in their creative, and it's absolutely brilliant. Here's the last one, interactive style.
I tried to be a hippie and I wear like the brand. My husband says I smell.
So if you are wearing Carpe, stand up and...
If you're wearing Carpe, stand up and show me, because I'm going to give you $100. So they're just getting interactive. They're at a baseball game. They're going around. They're showing people that have ordered. This is so good. So that is the interactive challenge style. And then lastly, they have the mechanism, which is how it works. They're showing how Carpe works. What is the mechanism? What is the thing within their product that allows the product to be effective and be better than other alternatives? Now, one of their creatives is they talk about how their deodorant is like made with sand or something. So that would be part of a mechanism.
This deodorant does not have parabens, phthalates, baking soda, formaldehyde, seed oil, or edible.
Here's another example, right? They're talking about what it doesn't have and how it's better than other alternatives. Next, they're actually showing examples.
Look at the Carpe armpit versus the other armpit. We got a crazy message from a customer named Mina. Here it is.
So they talk about this customer that was in class and they had to swab bacteria. So she swabbed her armpit that had a big brand deodorant, and then she swabbed the Carpe armpit, and you can see literally the difference within bacteria from the two. It's perfectly hitting on the mechanism of why their product works. Now, you have to understand that all of these concepts are complementing each other, right? They're all playing their part within their video funnel, from the social proof to the UGC to the founder ads and wanting to back a founder and back a USA brand, to the interactive kind of fun value-based content, to also the educational mechanism content. It's all part of the funnel. But for people that see the videos and they're like, okay, I like Carpe and I understand how it can help me, but I'm just not ready to buy. They probably are not ready to buy because they're not able to justify the price, right? They need kind of more of an offer. That's where the statics are coming in. Now, they don't run too many statics. In their ad library, I think I saw like 270 active ads, and a small majority of those or a small number of those were statics. Maybe 10, 15% is my guess. Because yeah, this is effective. Now you can see their statics are breaking it up into a few different styles. But what I find very, very interesting is they know what works. Look at the pattern here in their static. You have a granite block with the deodorant just sitting on top of it. Although they're changing the copy, this is typically, most of their ads have the deodorant sitting on the block, and they're changing the background color and then the headline. So they know what works. They're probably doing insane numbers just with these very few kind of styles. Also, you'll notice in the headlines, you'll see a lot of tendencies. Free. So the word free, for free, free. And then also you have 67% off, kind of that offer blasted all over the place. And then the word try. Try. That is what's working for them. If we zoom out, you'll see there are a lot of patterns in their static ads right here. So that is their creative, and that is what makes them so good. I love this brand. Kudos to the guys that are running this brand. Next, let's break down the offer, right? So we just went over the pre-click stuff. What happens before you go to the landing page? But when you hit the landing page, what's going on? Well, they run a very, very brilliant thing here. This is called a pre-sale page. So I will show you exactly what this pre-sale page looks like. This is it. So what they want you to do is they want you to pick 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you hit continue and boom, now we come to the sales page. Now this is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant stuff. So you're picking the 4 boxes and these are amazing because you can also alter these pages for seasonal sales. So sometimes they have where it's like a ticket, like a green ticket, and then you scratch it off and it'll say, oh, you unlocked 4 gifts or you unlocked X% off. So they can use these pre-sales kind of gamified pages to introduce the offer and make it very, very engaging and fun. And the coolest part about them is they can alter them for different seasons and holidays. For example, St. Patrick's, I think on 4th of July, they had like a fireworks style. And consumers love seasonal sales because they actually believe them. They know that the holiday will be over in 3 days. So they know the sale is actually real, right? So I love this pre-sale page that Carpe is running. And then we go to their actual sales page. Now this sales page is brilliant. And it reminds me of another brand, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. So you have the 4 sticks. They're saying 3 sticks is out of stock, which doesn't make sense. This is just a way that they're boosting AOV and also creating another sense of urgency. They're saying when you get your order by, and then as you select more, you are unlocking more free gifts. Absolutely brilliant. Very simple though, right? Because their creative is so good and they're educating very well before people even hit this lander. Next, when you do opt in for this offer, you are on subscription. Renews every 4 weeks. Carpe is worried about getting customers for the first time. Once they do that, they are good because of their ecosystem, which I'll also go over. They do have an option to buy once. It will take you to a different landing page. On the landing page, they know the biggest objection is, okay, why is it better than other alternatives? They're showing that in a before and after. They have authority with dermatologist recommended, how we compare, FAQ. Very simple lander and very oriented around the offer itself. So I love this lander. When you go here, you hit select cents and then you can opt in and pick all your cents and then you go straight to checkout. Now, what's very interesting is I want you guys to look at this page, okay? And look at this page. Very interesting. Literally every single aspect of these 2 pages are the exact same. There's a reason for this. These are both 8-figure brands and they are not reinventing the wheel. They know that this exact offer structure is printing money. And Carpe, I think I saw Javi running this offer first, or this lander first, I believe, but they just replicated what's already working. They're not reinventing the wheel. I think sometimes with offer, you know, it's obvious what the consumer wants and you just have to put your own little twist on it. Whether it be with a mystery gift that Carpe is doing, or, you know, Javi, I love how they're doing the kind of limited edition free gift. Absolutely brilliant. So that's what's going on the post-click experience once you hit that lander. And then the last thing is the ecosystem. Now, what I love about Carpe, and I think the thing that distinguishes these massive, massive brands from dropshippers is the massive brands create an ecosystem. They create complementary SKUs. Now, they start off with a hero product, which we'll get into. So the other thing that I love that Carpe does is they have multiple touch points. They're running Meta, they're running Google, they're running TikTok, they're running TikTok Shop, they're running Snapchat, they're running TV ads, they're running retail, they're in Walmart, and then probably other retailers as well. So they understand that it's hard to buy deodorant online. It's not an impulse purchase, but if you stay in their ecosystem long enough, you know, maybe you see their ads on Meta, but you're in the store and you see Carpe and you're like, okay, boom, right? It's all about creating this cumulative blended ecosystem. This is how they're winning. And this is something that I try to implement in my own brands as well. Now, I'm not in retail, but I work with what I can do. They're also on Amazon, obviously, but yeah, just keep them in the ecosystem long enough and they'll fold. But it doesn't end on the first purchase. This is where a lot of people go wrong. And this is why people cannot scale their brands, is because they stop on the first purchase. Oh, Shopify notification comes in. That's it. They get it fulfilled. They're not thinking about the customer from the time they buy on. And this is what the big brands do so well. So you enter the ecosystem with their hero product, which I love. They need this one hero product to create an ecosystem around. So if you like the deodorant, they know that they can upsell you on the other products via SMS, email, and retargeting stuff. And then the difference between you and Carpe is that they're playing the lifetime value game. They know that they're going to spend money to acquire you, right? That's inevitable. But the big opportunity is how do they suck more money out of you after they have acquired you? That's the difference typically that I see between these big brands and how they're making things work and smaller dropshippers or people that are getting into e-commerce for the first time. You can see they have the face lotion, the scalp powder, the scalp serum, the hand lotion, the setting mist, the groin powder, the breast lotion, sweat absorbing, thigh lotion, underarm wipes. It goes on and on and on. And guys, at the end of the day, these are probably all the same exact products. They are simply just changing the angle. The formula is probably the exact same on all of the powders. They're just opening up their total addressable market by positioning the same product for multiple different utilities. So that is the video, guys. This was a full case study on Carpe, what they do so well. I absolutely love this brand. Kudos to those guys. If you guys did like this video and found value here, that is my goal with these videos. So just like the video, comment, let me know that you like the video and appreciate it. And if you want me to break down more brands and what they're doing like this, happy to do so in the future. If you also are interested in working with me one-on-one to build either a dropshipping store and launch that and scale that, or a branded dropshipping store, or subscription brands like I personally run, I do it all. I help people in every single facet of e-commerce. First link in the description. But other than that, have an amazing